Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about a really powerful traditional remedy that, for a lot of us, might literally be growing in our own backyards. Yeah, we're talking about Eastern white pine needle tea.
Now, this isn't just some simple, warm drink for a cold day. Not at all. This is a historical powerhouse of nutrition, a beverage that people have used for centuries for wellness and, frankly, for survival, especially during those long, harsh winters when fresh food was hard to come by.
And here's where it gets really amazing. The sheer nutritional punch these needles pack is just off the charts. Ounce for ounce, Eastern white pine needles can have several times more vitamin C than an orange. I mean, look at that! This is exactly why it was such a game changer against diseases like scurvy.
So, to really appreciate this tea, we kind of need to understand where it comes from. Let's dive into the deep historical roots and the modern science behind why this tree is so incredible.
You have to understand, the story of this tea is a story of survival. Indigenous peoples like the Haudenosaunee, who actually called it the Tree of Peace, knew about its medicinal value for generations. And that knowledge was famously shared back in the 16th century, saving Jacques Cardier's entire crew from scurvy. And today, well, we're seeing this huge revival of that ancient wisdom.
Okay, so now that we know why this tea is so great, let's talk about the most crucial, the most important part of this whole process: positive identification. When you're foraging anything to eat or drink, getting this right is everything. Safety is absolutely 100% non-negotiable. So what are we looking for? It's one specific tree, the Eastern white pine, or Pinus strobus if you want to get scientific. It's not just any old pine tree. This majestic conifer is the one celebrated for its health benefits and its really unique characteristics.
So how do you know for sure? Well, the most definitive telltale sign is the 5-needle rule. If you look closely at the branches, you'll see the needles grow in these little clusters. For the Eastern white pine, there are always 5 needles in a bundle. Remember that, 5. They're also soft and kind of feathery, not stiff. And the cones are long and smooth, no sharp spikes.
And this right here, this is exactly why that identification is so critical. You absolutely have to know the difference between our friend the Eastern white pine and its highly toxic lookalike, the yew. It's night and day when you know what to look for. Yew needles are flat, and they grow one by one from the stem, not in bundles of 5. And instead of woody cones, the yew has these distinct red berry-like things.
Let me say that again, because this is without a doubt the most important thing you will hear in this entire explainer. If you are not 100% certain you've got an Eastern white pine, do not harvest it. Just don't. Do not consume it. When in doubt, leave it out. Okay, so once you are completely, totally, 100% certain you found the right tree, it's time to harvest. And this step isn't just about taking, it's really about entering into a partnership with nature. The key here is respect for the tree and its home.
Think of it as a partnership, right? You're looking for those young, vibrant green needles right at the tips, and always use clean shears for a nice, sharp cut. But here's the most important rule. Take sparingly. Never take more than a tiny fraction from any one tree. A much better approach is to gather just a little bit from several different trees.
And remember, the purity of your tea starts with the purity of its source. Trees are like sponges. They can absorb pollutants from the air and soil, so you want to avoid harvesting anywhere near busy roads, industrial sites, or sprayed fields. Always choose clean, pristine forest environments. So, you've respectfully harvested your needles from a super clean spot. Awesome. Now for the fun part. Let's head to the kitchen and turn them into a delicious and healthy brew.
The prep is super simple but really important. First, just give the needles a good rinse under some cool water. Then, give them a quick look over and toss out any that are brown or look a little off. Finally, chop them up into small pieces. This just increases the surface area, and that helps release all that flavor and all those good compounds into the water. Okay, pay close attention to the water temperature here. This is key. To save all that delicate vitamin C, which can actually break down in super high heat, you want to steep the needles, not boil them. So bring your water to a boil, then take it off the heat and let it cool for just a minute. Then pour it over a tablespoon or 2 of your chopped needles. Cover it up, let it steep, and then strain it out.
Now, on its own, the tea has this really unique, pleasant flavor. It's kind of woodsy, a little citrusy, really refreshing. But you can absolutely play with it. A little squeeze of lemon, a spoonful of local honey, or even some fresh ginger or a cinnamon stick, they all work great. All right, before we finish up, let's circle back one last time to the most important theme here, safety. We're going to run through a final checklist. Think of this as your pre-sip review, just to make sure you have a safe and positive experience.
Let's just hammer these home one more time. First, 100% positive identification is mandatory. No exceptions. Second, only harvest from clean, uncontaminated locations. Third, and this is really important, if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or on any medications, please talk to your doctor first. And finally, just be aware of any potential allergies.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other ancient wisdom, what other powerful remedies are just waiting out there to be rediscovered, hiding in plain sight, maybe just a short walk from your own front door?